Hi and welcome to GFX. Today I'm going to show you some performance issues that you can encounter using functions, and also I will show you when to use functions and when not. In front of me I have a table which contains around 64 millions of records, and let's say we have a requirement in which we need to remove the blank space from the beginning of the string and from the end of the string. And for this, let's say we want to create a function. And in here I already created this function, and as you can see it will remove the blank space from the beginning and from the end of the string. Of course Microsoft provides functions for that. Also in the newer versions of the SQL Server you can use the trim function. If you're using older versions, then you need to use this combination to remove the blank spaces from the beginning and from the end of the string. And let's say we are trying to do that, and we are trying to create a count on this column. Okay, so basically if I will use something like this. Okay, remove the empty space, the name is this column. Okay, so I want to remove the blank spaces from the beginning and from the end of the string, and I can use this thing, and then I will create a count on that column. So if I'll execute this query, you will see that it will take around 4 seconds. So 4 seconds for 64 millions of records. And look what will happen if I'll try to execute the same command, but instead of using these functions in here, I will try to use my function. Okay, so my function is this, which is basically the same like I have in here, but okay, if I'll try to execute this thing, it will take a lot of time just to process. So this is what I wanted to show you, is that functions are executed row by row, and when you're using something like this in here and you put in the function directly in here in the select statement, then you are using the batch processing. And this can be an issue if you're doing reports and data warehouses solutions. So when you're trying to build reporting systems, try to avoid as much as possible functions because they are very slow, they are executed row by row, and you will encounter performance issues. You can use functions if you have, let's say, an application and you need to show on the UI some basic information, let's say some concatenation in there, and you know that the result set that will be presented in the UI it will not exceed, let's say, some let's say 1,000 of records, stuff like that. But for the application it's very useful to have functions in there. But if you're creating store procedures and you have a lot of functions in there, that of course you can encounter performance issues. So as you can see, this query is running for 1.5 minutes now and it's still not done. So that's why I'm saying basically it's just the same, but if you're using the custom functions, it will take a lot of time. So these performance issues I've encountered in many projects. So the first thing that I will try to do is eliminate those functions. Of course it is good to have functions because you're creating your database modular, then you need to change something in one place and not go to all over the, let's say you have 1000 store procedures and stuff like that, and you need to modify all of them. But of course, as I said, if you're using functions for data warehouse solutions, try to keep them as simple as possible and try to avoid them. What I usually I'm doing when I encounter a situation like this, I will try to extract the logic and put it directly in the select statement for, let's say, for a report, a specific report. And if I have like a drop down and in which I need to do something, let's say concatenation, first name and last name and stuff like that, then maybe I'll use a function for that. But usually I'll try to use the SQL, just SQL without functions, to provide the data to the report. So as a conclusion, if you're trying to use function, it is very good for applications. But if you are dealing with reporting systems, data warehouse solutions for your clients, then try to avoid them as much as possible, especially in the ATL process, because it will take a lot of time just to process the data. So that was the tip for functions. I hope it was helpful to you, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. See you next time. Bye.